if I show you everything, if I give you the carrier, give you this, like the sales script, call whatever you want, the script actually, what to say to this carrier. By the way, I'm a carrier. So, and if you still don't get the carrier, if I show you, get here, take this carrier, email this, or call and say this, and then send this, then onboard this carrier and start serving this carrier, and I show you everything and nothing hold back, and if you can't get the carrier, there's only one reason. You are not ready to serve that carrier. Just think about, while I'm going into like detail showing you how to get a carrier and what to say to this carrier. Just think about that. You are not ready to serve that carrier. Trust me, I taught thousands of people globally. I am a second try carrier. I was a carrier like in the past, and I was an independent dispatcher. I was serving about 25 carriers or owner-operators, and I started teaching people how to start their independent freight dispatching agencies. Hey, I'm back. I'm a carrier now, but at the same time, I do dispatch, and I do also teach people how to become independent freight dispatch, running independent freight dispatching agencies. I think that's awesome career. Now, here is the agenda. Over the years, I started teaching people back in 2016 in my office here in Atlanta, Georgia. People coming into my office by referrals, owner-operators' wives, maybe was a driver, now I don't want to drive, I want to dispatch. Somebody heard about dispatching. Hey, you do teach me how to become independent freight dispatcher or just a dispatcher. So over the years, what I learned, and in 2018, this is where I started this channel. 2018, now 2026, I've been posting content, teaching people, private community, coaching students. These are the 3 questions. Number 1, where do I start? Like, where do I start? Like, I need to know what's the first step. I'm like, okay, so we need to, a lot of people asking this question, where do I start? Second most important question, how do I get the carrier? And third one, obviously, tools. What type of tools should I use? The software, dispatch software, everything. And I'll be showing you everything in this video. I don't know, it could be an hour long, it could be 2 hours, you can come back, all that good stuff. So we're here just having fun. And most people, what I realize, in this on purpose, I put it like, hey, first is where do I start? But actually, it's the trap. It's not right. What that means is that it's not the correct order. I know what you're thinking. Maybe you're already confused. Like, what are you talking about? Yes, this is not the correct order. And I put it in this way because some of you already took some courses online already. Some maybe you're thinking to take some courses or maybe watching videos, learning. Some of you maybe already dispatching. This what people teach. The self-taught gurus, if you will, out there on the internet right now. I don't know if you guys having fun, just let me know. Where do I start? You need to must have an LLC, and then you must have, experience, maybe no experience, whatnot, then how to get carriers, then obviously these are the tools to use, or how to use load boards, whatnot. Absolutely not. First is actually the opposite. First, you need to know how to get the carrier. And here is why. Just slow down, enjoy the live. I'll be showing you everything. As I said, you will get those, like the strategies or tactics or the secrets, everything. I promise you, you will get that. So here is the deal. Why is the problem? Why are you watching right now, and why you wanted to get the carrier? Because you don't have a carrier. Or you might have a carrier, you lost a carrier, or maybe you're losing carriers, or maybe you want to grow the carrier base. See, there's like different buckets, right? I'm trying my best to kind of serve everybody, because most of you watching, you're fairly new, maybe aspiring dispatchers, you never dispatched, maybe you dispatched, but it was a training or something like that, but you never actually dispatched, you didn't have a carrier or you don't have a carrier. So people, obviously online, teaching people, hey, you get the LLC and here is the 30-day free trial, load board. Here's how you book the load board. Here's the terminology. Here's X, Y, and Z, whatnot. Now, like, okay, I got it. But what next? Well, next, the logical step, you think, is how to get the carrier, right? Well, actually, the way I started teaching is like, forget everything. Forget about load boards. Forget about DAT. Forget about 1, 2, 3 load board. Everything, tools, software, just forget about it. You, by yourself, no training, nothing like that, you can still get the carrier. Number one problem you need to solve is to start attracting carriers. See, there is a reason why I repeatedly said attracting instead of chasing. So on last Thursday, we talked about chasing the carriers. That means we talked about like inbound and outbound, reaching out to those carriers. And obviously the more you chase them, the more they run away from you, right? So you experience that. You bought maybe scripts and you started talking to these carriers not listening to you. They're just like going away from you, whatnot. And what you're doing, hey, let me create an LLC. Let me create an LLC also, proprietorship, whatever. Let me form the company. And now you feel good about yourself, well, because now you're in business. That's what you think. And no, you're not in business. You just registered a business name. Or I might say you reserved your business name. You're not in business until you get your first paying customers or the carrier, then you're in business. Until then, don't say that you are in business. Don't say that you are running independent freight dispatching agency. You're not. So if you're watching me right now, you don't have a carrier, you don't have a business. You're learning. Maybe you hustling, you want to get carriers, right? So how to get carriers should be the number one task before anything else. Get the carrier fast. But you're lucky because I was a carrier back in the days. Now I became again a carrier. There's a reason we developed the software. Now we need to test this software with our own trucks, obviously, and with the beta testers. We'll talk about more during the live session, maybe in the next upcoming videos as well. First thing first, let's go into details. And see, number two, how to get your first carrier, and see what I did. What carriers really care about when choosing a dispatcher. What we care about, we as a carriers or carriers out there, maybe you're a carrier here watching, and I have a community of carriers. I have a lot of friends and families in trucking. I have a lot of carriers, and I know what they're looking for. And the answer will surprise you. It's not about the experience, although there is obviously the percentage, the true, yes, the experience counts, but it's not the barrier, if you will. So it's not about that. It's not about where you're located. It's not about how well you speak English. English is my, I would say, fourth language, right? So it's not about that. There is a one thing, and we'll talk about this. So see, the order is messed up. And that's the reason I purposely put in this way. What carriers really care about choosing a dispatcher? Wait, if you think that's the number one, right? Then second is word-to-word script and strategies for your first outreach call. Outreach basically means when you're reaching out to a carrier, like, what should I say? I need to start the conversation, right? Then we're having the conversation, then what's next? So I need this carrier to say yes to my business. Maybe there is a script. Maybe there is a strategy that you're using. Maybe you don't, right? And then we'll talk about those. So then the third one is where to find your first carrier, free and paid method. Today we'll talk about, in this video, we'll talk about the free version, basically, right? or the free way of getting the carriers. And then paid, we'll talk about maybe next week, maybe Thursday or maybe Tuesday next week. Because for Thursday, I have really good plan when it comes to a live session. So, see, the order is messed up. Now, first, in my opinion, if you don't know how to get carriers, you need to know, like, where are these carriers? Like, one is talking to you right now, but where are all those carriers? If carrier is a living, breathing human being, he's in this planet Earth, and then he's using internet. That means he's on the internet somewhere. I need to find this carrier. Finding, no problem. I'll show you where to find them. I think most importantly, the important aspect here is how to make this carrier to say yes. But I think even most importantly, or most important than this, how to, have this carrier saying yes repeatedly. What that means is that when the carrier says yes to your service, the dispatching service, it's not the end game. I was like, man, he said yes, awesome, now I'm in the business, I'll be making money. Absolutely not. So when he said yes to your business, he must say yes every single week to your services. One load, he might say, no, I don't like it. The second load you booked, maybe he, regrets that he said yes to you. See, retention problem. And we talked about retention last week. Retaining carriers, I think, is most important than, carriers saying yes to your services. They will say yes. And then there's a secret I will show you. And then actually, that is a secret, be honest with you. And let me show you what I mean by that, because maybe you will decide to, switch and watch another video, but let me show you what I mean by that. So here is the thing. I was attending a mastermind. I paid a lot of money to be in that room with these people. So if you're a dispatcher, maybe you're a if you're a dispatcher not making money, you unemployed. It doesn't mean that you're legally unemployed, you don't have a job, but think in terms of freight dispatching. If you're a dispatcher, if you're not making money, you are in the unemployed category. So if you are a dispatcher, you're making money, but you want to make more money, then you're employed. So if you have hundreds of carriers, hundreds of trucks, you are in the business. That means money is not a problem, okay? Now, status is the problem. We'll talk about this. When I heard this, I was like, man, what they're talking about? Like, in the business, I have hundreds of carriers, hundreds of trucks, and I'm making money. Money is not a problem now. I'm in the business, but the status is most important in all of this. So basically, unemployed means I want to make money. I'm not making money, right? Then I'm making money, but not enough. I want to make more money. That means if you're a dispatcher, you have a carrier and you're making maybe about $2,000 per month. Now you want to make $10,000 per month, right? See, now you want to make more money, okay? So business we're not talking about, because it's the status. There are fairly few, maybe I can say 4 or 5 independent freight dispatching agencies. I know top 3, one of them in the US, 2 outside the US. They're huge, thousands of trucks, hundreds of carriers. No, they're not carriers. They're independent freight dispatching agency. They're running trucks, somebody else's trucks. So we'll talk about these people. Now come back. Here is the secret. Same thing applies to a carrier. There is a carrier in the business and they're not making money. Maybe they're breaking even, right? Or they're not making money. Some carriers out there not making money for 6 months. And then they declare bankruptcy or go out of business. And guess what? How many of you reaching out to these carriers? And how many of you experienced rejection? No, I don't want to work with you. I'm not looking for a dispatcher. But what's happening? This carrier is not making money, so he can share the revenue with you. That's the whole thing. Like that's the secret right here. You're attracting or you're reaching out to a wrong person. That's the reason. That's the second important reason that you don't have a carrier. So simply, this carrier doesn't have the money. And I mean, there are thousands of carriers out there. They're like breaking even or not making money. And that's why I've been keep saying this over the years. For I don't know, for the last 6 years at least, trucking is brutally competitive and capital intensive business. It's not for everybody. Carriers, literally, they suffer. Okay? So then carriers employed. These are the carriers, I would say between 5 and 15 trucks. These are the carriers making money. And remember, they want to make more money. Why is that? Well, because they, and by the way, employed the carrier that making money right now and want to make more money. There's a small percentage of people that want to go into the business category. And remember, business category means these are the people like seeking status, like high status, right? If you're a dispatcher, maybe you're thinking, man, if somebody says I need a dispatcher or independent freight dispatching agency, the first thing that they like need to come into their minds, like my company or my name. That's the status seeking company, right? To think about like mega carriers out there, like mega brokerages out there, C.H. Robinson, whatever. You know those, TQL, you know those people or companies. Same thing applies here, right? So they're carriers that making money and they want to make more money. That's the secret. That's where you want it to be. That's where you need to attract people. And by the way, these people speak totally different languages. Not like they speak English, but what I mean is, what I mean by saying like they don't speak the exact same language, the lingo that they're using is totally different than unemployed. Like, let's take this. There is an unemployed person and there's an employed person, right? The unemployed person, obviously, always negative. Well, I don't have a job. I lost my whatever business, home, or job. It's terrible situation to be in, right? So negative, like always complaining, no money at all, unemployed. And then there's an employed person, maybe educated, maybe, I don't know, associate degree, bachelor's degree, middle class, call it whatever you want. They speak totally different language, right? And then obviously people with the high status, obviously they speak totally different language, right? They don't care about us. So now, same thing with the carrier. Unemployed carrier, that means if I'm a carrier owner operator, maybe running 2 trucks, 3 trucks, or just an owner operator running my own truck and trailer, meaning driving, I'm not making money. I complain all the time. Complain about the industry, complain about the load boards, complain about the country, the government, everything in between. Dispatchers, scammers, right? Brokers, I hate brokers. Like, they literally hate everybody because they can't make money. And there are, hundreds, thousands of people out there in the unemployed category. They're not making money. So guess what? What you're doing is you reaching out to these people. On top of that, most of you, maybe you watching right now, maybe you bought a script, maybe template from somebody that has already been used thousands of times by other dispatchers already for many, many years, and you're excited. You got it for $9, Etsy, from somewhere, I don't know, downloaded, bought it, and now you're blasting and texting. And I get, as a carrier, when I got my MC and DOT, I was blown away. Like I experienced when I was, starting trucking, like literally agents, brokers, like specifically dispatchers. Oh my God. They're like literally scammers out there. They want your money 24/7. They're emailing, texting, like they're bombarding with this, like, I'm awesome, I'm a dispatcher, I can book loads $5, $6 per mile, work with me. That's the noise. Okay? So, not to deviate from it, let's come back and let me So this is a secret. We will come back to this one. Let me go back and let's talk about this. So remember we said it's actually the steps are messed up. The first, you need to know where they located. Like I want to find them. I locate them first, and then obviously from there you need to understand what they really care about. And as a carer, I'll tell you, I'll share this with you publicly right now with you, and then people obviously when we post this, video, people will be watching this. Cares only one thing. And again, I'm not saying, well, it's not an experience, I told you. But experience counts, yes. But it's not the gate, okay? If you think, I don't have an experience, but man, I need a carrier. Well, yeah, you need to start somewhere. As a carrier with fairly new MC, never booked a load, I need to work with a broker. This broker says no, that broker says go away, this broker says whatever, but then fourth one says, okay, pick this load and deliver whatever, let's make money. That's literally how I started my first trucking business. Multiple calls, no, and then obviously, eventually I got the first load, and then we delivered the load, and that's how we started. So, number one thing carrier cares about is trust. That's the number one thing. If I trust you, I have no problem working with you. No, it's not the experience you were thinking about. No, it's not about the communication skill. No, it's not about the perfect English, native English, whatever. No, absolutely not. Trust. Obviously, as a human being, I need to trust somebody. Well, you guys watching, maybe you watched multiple videos, maybe you took some courses, maybe you were in one of my communities, whatnot. We engaged in the content, or maybe I taught you something or shared something with you. Now you trust me. Now you trust me that, man, I see this person over the years, maybe at least in the last 5-6 years, has been in posting content. You might trust me. Man, those thousands of people that I taught, it says something because they trusted. And the reason why they trusted is because the content I'm putting out there and I'm showing up and I'm sharing and delivering value. Number one thing is the trust. If you don't have a carrier right now, that's the number one gate. No trust. And you know what's happening over the years? A lot of people going into this business and then they messed up the whole industry, like independent freight dispatching agency or being an independent dispatcher or working remotely, working with carriers, whatnot. Trust almost disappeared. Like now, literally, if you're not creating content, and I'm not saying that, hey, maybe you're nervous, but I'm still nervous, but it's okay. But if you're like, man, I don't know what to say, man, creating content is not for me. Well, guess what? It will be challenging. It will be really hard to get a carrier. Even then, if you get the carrier, you will lose them just like that. So creating content is the game. Maybe I'll be losing a lot of you right now. Oh man, creating content, please. You have to. I'm telling you, you have to. Later I'll put up my phone and then I'll show you. I do live TikTok. Somebody emailed me and said, man, you said you're doing live. Yes, I watched a couple of your live sessions on TikTok, but you never showed us that you got the kit. I'll show you. I'll literally pull up my phone and then I'll go hey, here you go. Those are the, I'll be showing you brand new carriers. Man, now I'm a carrier, I can't work with them. If you want to work with them, that's what you need to do, right? Creating content. Well, then there is a challenge with that. I don't want to show my face. Well, you don't have to. Literally, let me show you this. If you don't want to show your face, let me actually show you something that you'll be blown away by this. There is one of my students. Let me share this with you right now so that we don't have any objections. Maybe thinking, man, no, it's not. Wait a minute. Let me pull this. Okay, let me share this with you. If I do like this, I think you'll see it more. There you go. Awesome. Now, I'm creating cohort-based, like starting your like actual dispatching business, but starting with getting your career and then obviously moving from there. So it's not about the course. It's not a course. It's the cohort where we're actually building the business. So I'm creating this page where we will get the members, and then I'll start teaching. There's like 15 people. This is very like close community, if you will. So one of my students, they're like exact same strategy. Olman, if you're watching, you're an awesome. One of his videos got almost 500,000 views. And guess what? More than almost 5,000 likes for that video. More than 612. Like imagine 1,226 saves. Those are the owner operators. These are the people, like literally carriers. Okay, maybe you're thinking like, okay, Kamal, it's cool, but you know, one of their videos got 500,000, but watch, 61,000, 65,000, what is it? 229, is it? Maybe it's 28.9, but thousands of videos, 16,000 views. Like watch the format. He's not showing his face. Watch the format. It's a load board, and it says, hey, here's a load, goes from Atlanta, Georgia to Houston, Texas, whatever. And one of his videos like goes semi-viral, if you will. And then now he's getting hundreds of people actually commenting and saying, hey, here's my MC, or DMing him. And okay, I hear you might say, well, just a comment, man. Like, don't over-exaggerate. Well, here you go. Olman himself, there's his rate confirmation, and got exact, like this is where he got his career, by creating content. And by the way, this person, when he first joined in, I was like, I think we were doing live session inside the community, and he's like, man, I'm lost. I don't know how to get carriers. That's exactly where you're at right now. First carrier, even like it's already dispatched, and that's the rate confirmation over there. So maybe you're thinking, okay, that's one, and here's me sharing my screenshots with the community saying, hey, I just got the carrier. There you go. That's the carrier. And then, by the way, I'm not dispatching. I was just giving away to my students. Hey, I know that Olman can dispatch. I know Jason can dispatch. I know Diego can dispatch. And I'm like, hey, here you go. Take this, carrier, and obviously that's how we were doing the business, right? So then there's a first contract. There is like, hey, YouTube, whatever, the lead he got. There is another person got thousands of, views for the video. It's just, man, it's just list goes. Let me come back. You got the idea, okay? So let me come back, and then I'll show you this, and then we'll do, I think, there you go. Awesome. So you guys liking it? It's awesome. Cool. You guys getting value out of this? Are we okay? Are you guys learning? Now, where are we at? We are at, let me pull this so I can see it. There you go. Now, where to find these carriers, I will show you right now. So where to find these carriers. In the last video, what I did, I showed you guys where to find those carriers. FMCSA, it's a public data out there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it, FMCSA, what is it, all that good stuff. If you know what I'm talking about, awesome. So let me go up here, and then I'll say, share this screen, and then I'll come back, and then I'll share it with you, and then I'll show you. There you go, I think this one. So add, share, okay, cool. There you go, share. Bear with me, guys, because I'm switching back and forth between, there you go, awesome. So now what I'll do like that, and then you will see how to get the carrier. And to find the carrier. Getting the carrier is totally different thing, okay? Don't be confused. So what you need to do, and what I will do right after this video, I'll post a link so you can see it, you can click it, and you can go there. But once you get here, see at the top, Maybe you don't see it, but hey, I think you see it. Let me see. Share. Do you? Yes. There you go. So you click on carrier search, okay? And then you come up here. If you know the MC, you can definitely, do MC, whatnot. Put the MC. But let's say I'm in Florida. I'm not a robot. Let's do this and then click search. A lot of people out there, that's what they're teaching, right? That's a public data. Some of you might be thinking, man, you sharing the, people's information's out there. It's already public, man. It's out there. Like I'm like literally, like nobody owns this data. It's public. It's out there. Like go in, and actually government wants you to create the business. Go serve these carriers so they can survive, so they can make money and you make money and obviously pay taxes. So let's do this. Next records, see that? Next records, it just keeps going. It's like endless. You just found them. They're the carriers out there. But here is the challenge. Let me stop this. Let's come back and then I'll do this. There you go. So what's the challenge? The challenge is this. This carrier or these carriers, they know nothing about you. And more importantly, you don't know anything about these carriers. Like, let me ask you this. I just showed you thousands of carriers. That's the database, right? How many of those carriers, box truck owners? Okay, you don't serve box truck owners. Okay, how many of those carriers actually active carriers? That means they have MC, they can drive, they can haul freight. You don't know. Okay, how many of those carriers wrote MC? That means they didn't have the insurance, no active MC, you can't haul, revoked, right? How many of those people in the drive-in? How many of those carriers been in business? Like for how long they've been in business? You know nothing about their businesses. See what's happening? Trust. Like you can't trust the process, and these people can trust you because you don't know anything about these people, and these people know nothing about you. Okay? So that's the challenge. Now, we said where to find these carriers. That's the one way. Should I show you the second way? Second way, if you are using the load board, if you're using the load board, DAT more specifically, it's okay if you don't. I'll give you an alternative. If you're using DAT, go to Tools, click on Search Directory. I think it's called Search Directory. Let me go there real quick and see. I think it's the Search Directory. DAT Directory. Okay? So go to DAT Directory and then start putting like the filtering. Like if you're in Florida, if you're looking for a flatbed and active, you can even search commodity. You can even search for a broker if you wanted to. Okay? So that's one thing. If you have the load board subscription, go now, click Tools, go to DAT Directory and start searching for those carriers. They're out there. For those of you, it's the second way. For those of you who don't have if you're watching now and you don't have the load board, hey, there is a load board, 123 load board. They have 30-day free trial. 30 days, no money. Absolutely. Think 30-day using this tool, free. So they have, let me see, I think they call Search Directory. Why don't I show you instead of just telling you? Maybe you guys wanted to see it. Bear with me. Let me show you what I see so that you can also see it. There you go. Let me do this. And again, I'll make it bigger so you can see it. There you go. So see what they call Search Directory. This is how you search carriers, brokers. If you're a carrier, this is how you can also search for a shipper. Okay? Now, this is one, and let me go back and then show you this. Okay, if you go to Tools, go to, see that, this one, see, Search Directory, there you go. If you guys watching on mobile, that's what it is, there you go, awesome. See, that's how you look for, again, for brokers, carriers, broker or carrier, carrier or the shipper. If you are a carrier, you can search for shippers, right? You know that. You as a dispatcher, no shippers. Cool. So you don't act like a broker because it's illegal. You can't do that. Sometimes when I say it's illegal, people will be like challenging me. What do you mean by saying illegal? I mean, don't act like you are a broker. That's it. You're not a broker. You're not a Kamal. Don't act like a Kamal. That's it. That's the problem, right? So if you're a dispatcher, you're representing a carrier, and that's how you do business. You represent a carrier. If you represent me, what do? You telling about my company, about me, not you, right? Because I'm a carrier, I work with you, or you're a carrier, I'm a dispatcher, I'm representing you. If your company is Prime Express, when I call broker, what would I say? Hey, this is John from Prime Express. Why? You're a dispatcher. Why would you say that? You should represent your dispatching company, isn't it? No. Why? Well, because of dispatcher carrier agreement. Dispatcher carrier agreement gives you, as a dispatcher, limited power of attorney. That means there's a limited power of attorney means basically you're becoming a carrier. I'm agreeing that, hey, you can use my company to book loads, basically, in a simple language. Okay? And because of this dispatcher carrier agreement, you can't go out there and say, hey, I have carriers. You can't do that. Like, if you wanted to act like a broker, you should become a broker. Go get your MC, broker MC, obviously. Get your bonds, whatever. Become a broker, then do whatever you want, right? I mean, representing a shipper and a carrier. So, coming back, and then let's talk about, let me bring this, there you go. So, we're still on, let me close this so I can see it myself as well. So, we said where to find them. You literally saw where to find them, right? So, there you go. FMCSA, public data, hundreds of thousands of carriers out there waiting for you. Okay, if you wanted to do business with them, not blasting, not spamming, like, go get them and work with them. So, and now we talked about this, what they care. Why is the structure or the order is messed up? Well, because you need to know how to find them. My thing is not find them. I'll show you that maybe in this video, maybe in upcoming videos, how to attract them. See the screenshots that I showed you, that's how I attracted. How I attracted? I created content for them. What type of content? It's actually a load board showing them, saying, hey, here is a load going out of Houston, Texas, goes to Phoenix, Arizona. That's an awesome load. And that's all. 15, 20 seconds. Those are the videos. If you do like 2 times, maybe over 30 days, trust me, almost guaranteed that you will start the conversation with the carrier. I taught, as I said, hundreds, thousands of people. And I know process, I know the system, it works. So when you found them, now you need to know what these carriers care about. I'm a carrier, and as I said, we care, the number one thing we care about, trust. Should I trust you? Can I trust you? I want to trust you, my company, giving all the legal documents that I have, sending to you. If I don't know you, there's no relationship, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's even tougher. And by the way, I think it's not a good news, and it's getting worse. It is getting harder and harder. You as a dispatcher, you stuck. You can't get a carrier because there are a lot of spammers out there. Man, what's happening in the industry? It's brutal. Brutal. And you, honest, legit, legal company want to serve carrier, feed their families, feed your family, want to do business. Now you can't. Literally is really hard to get A carrier, not even when you referring a carrier, and literally what I did, one of my car hauler friends, he said, I need a dispatcher. Kamal, do you have a dispatcher? I said, I know somebody. He's from California. He moving like ambulances and then, what is it? The heavy duty equipment. And also he has like, I do see he's posting like cars, whatnot on social media. I think he's also broker for the, what is it? The cars. It's like, no, I'm not looking for a broker. I'm looking for a dispatcher. Well, he's a dispatcher and he also has a dispatcher. So what he said, that not the point. The point is, like, should I trust him? Like you refer, like, is it trustable person? See what's happening? And see with these like double brokering, triple brokering, like fraud, scam, people just can't trust their drivers now. Like I can't even trust in-house dispatcher. Like I can't. That's the problem. It's not the carrier problem. It's not a you as a dispatcher problem. Problem is the people who created this problem for us. Now it's a problem to get the carrier. Number one thing is the trust. Why I kept saying trust. Because when you attract those people or reach out to these people, guess what you're doing? You're building this relationship so they can trust. In my opinion, I think the best way to go about this is by creating content. Like literally, that's the only way I see to create a content. Like there are a lot of kiddies watching my content and they reach out to me. Hey man, like I have this MC and I'm in the drive-in, whatnot, can you dispatch? How so? Like, man, I watch your videos. Like I'm one of your followers on TikTok. I'm one of your followers on Instagram. Like I'm one of your subscribers on YouTube. That literally what's happening, the content creates, that's the lead gen. Means generating leads for your business. That's what it is. Stop chasing. Like literally, there is, like I don't understand this. Let's talk about this. Very important. And I will just go into details talking about these. Have you experienced this? When you care so much about a person, it could be your brother, it could be your best friend, it could be your girlfriend, it could be anybody. Literally like anything. I think like we are human beings. When we care so much about a person, about our friend, somehow we start chasing them. They're kind of running away from us. Have you experienced this? Like if you're a living human, breathing, living like the human, you like 100% you experience this. How can you explain this? If person wants, let's say, a little bit of a like love, a little bit of a respect, right? And you have those friends and you want like, man, I care about so much. I love you as a friend. But then you think that friend has a friendship with somebody that doesn't care about this person. Have you experienced this? Crazy. Human beings are weird. Like, I don't understand this, be honest with you. Like, I told this story many, many times. I don't know if you heard this. It's literally, I think explains everything. One of my nephews, he has the leakage. He wants to replace the entire roof. And he's like, man, I'm looking for this like roofer companies. I need to fix this and this and this. I'm like, man, replace the whole thing, right? The insurance, covers it, whatnot. And he's like, yeah, I'm doing my research. Like, do you know somebody? Like, see, referral, right? He like the trust, if you will. I'm like, man, literally thousands of people out there. And then he's talking to somebody, obviously online. And then, like, we having a conversation. You experience this. A lot of these roofing companies, like almost every single day, driving around on their pickups, ended up knocking these doors like, man, we replaced one of your neighbors' roof, and then we wanted to replace yours. Here we can do like great job, or we have a deal, or this and this and this. That, like, one of those companies we're talking, and then he passed, and I do see that he's advertising on his pickup truck. There's like roofing company and whatever the company name, and there's a phone number. And we're sitting like on a porch. And like, man, there's a guy. And that guy goes and then talks to the neighbors, and he comes back and he sees that we're sitting on a porch, money, and then he just jumps out of his car, he approaches us, and my nephew says, like, watch, like he'll be selling. And we're sitting at, okay, so you were looking for a roofer, and there you go, right? So he's like, hey guys, what's up? Like an exact same thing. Like we did this, and we replaced one of your neighbors, and now I'm here. We have a good deal. So let's talk. And my nephew does this. No, man, we're not interested. Thank you. We having a conversation, please. And he's like, okay, no problem. Just let me know. Like, let me just give you my card, and if you're like, yeah, cool. Let me screenshot. I do see you have your phone, and I'll like. He's like screenshotting. Like, we're good, man. Thank you. And he left. I'm like, I'm puzzled. You were looking for a roofer. And we were having this conversation for about 45 minutes, and then this guy appeared magically. And he just right in front of you. And he said, no. Yeah. Why? Well, I don't know. He's trying to sell. I'm like, what? See, that's exactly what's happening when you're reaching out to these carriers. Even though these carriers, like I was a carrier, I am a carrier. Trust me. These carriers looking for dispatchers, but at the same time, rejecting your services when you approach them. Why? Why is that? Why when you chase somebody and then they just run away? You're looking for a business. I'm here, man. What's up? What's going on? Imagine you're chasing a cat. And a cat just, runs away from you. Don't chase the cat. Like maybe put some of milk, something like that, and then you just attract them. They'll come to you. You have something that they need, and they'll come to you. So what I realized that that nephew that I have, so he started working with the company that got, I think, like 2.8 stars, like review on Google. And this guy, because the screenshot had about 4.7, like thousands of reviews. We talked about experience. Does it really matter? I think there is the approach is very important here. Very important. I'm sharing everything that I have, nothing like holding back. This is literally what's happening. Like, don't chase, attract those carriers. If you really want to win the game of dispatching and getting carriers just like that every single month, not just once. Like, you need to let them keep coming, because you don't know how long they will stay. If you got me and I said yes, I might stay with you, I don't know, for a couple of weeks. If I don't like it, I'll just, go and work with other dispatcher. Same thing, if you don't like me, like as a carrier, you will be looking for or chasing for another carrier, okay? So, where to find them or attract them, okay? Then what they care about, number one thing is the trust, and I told you, and I already shared with you, the best way to do that is creating content. And I showed you how you can create the content, right? So if you don't want to share your face, just take out the phone, start recording the load board, and post. Literally, post like every single day for 30 days and see what happens. And then come back and blame me for not getting results. I'm okay with that. I know what you're thinking. Well, I don't have a load board. I told you, 123 load board is free for 30 days. Go grab that and start using it, right? If you don't like it, you can cancel it. Who cares? Literally, I showed you there are some students that getting less than 30 days, thousands of views, thousands of followers on TikTok. I'm not a TikToker. Like, I can't do that. Well, if you don't want to do that, then it's perfectly fine. Just go do something else, okay? Like, I don't want to create YouTube videos. Fine. I'll create videos. I'll get customers. I'll get students. I'll get, dispatchers, whatever, drivers. But you don't. If you don't create content, period. Content is the king. If you don't want to create content, I think this is the point where you just go do whatever you want to do. So, we care about trust. We said that, yes, experience count, but I think more importantly, the second important thing, I think, yes, communication matters, but I think the work ethic. So, what I mean by work ethic, like you really want to see that you aligned with this person. That means you're approachable. I'm not saying that you'll become a likable, but then you should be approachable. Maybe I can say coachable. You're not easily offended, right? So if you're that type of person, man, like making money in trucking, it's not a problem for you. So those are the things, right? And obviously, if you have experience, you can definitely include. So what they care about now, knowing these, now you know what to say. See, nobody told you this. Everybody pitching you courses, information, and I just keep saying, like, man, you don't have to pay for information because information is free. Don't do that. Like, I'm literally sharing and will be sharing in upcoming months and years. I'll be sharing, information. No. Well, for the implementation, if you need like hands-on, like, I don't know, hold my hand, show me, then yeah, you're demanding somebody else's life, basically, right? So, and then yes, you need to pay for that. Maybe there are coaching programs out there, and then the person says that, hey, I'll hold you throughout the process, I'll do X, Y, and Z. But listen to this. If somebody says, I will give you a carrier so that you can dispatch, 99.99% of the time, it's a lie. Nobody can give you a carrier. Nobody. Well, they can give you leads, they can give you some information, but nobody will give you a carrier. Nobody. Just trust me. Nobody. So even me, I have a lot of, I give my leads. People approach me, I'm like, man, I'm not dispatching, but I do teach people. I have my students. Let me introduce you to this person. That's what I do, but it's not giving away a carrier, right? So now you know what to say. Now you're creating your script. It's not the script that you got from $50 course. It's not the script that you downloaded somewhere on the internet. It's not the script that ChatGPT created or Claude created for you. No, it's not that. It's all about knowing the problem. And remember, I shared with you, there's like unemployed carriers, there are employed carriers, and then there's the carriers in the business. So literally, if you are on, let's say I'm a carrier. I'm on my phone right now, live, right? I'm on Facebook, maybe I'm on TikTok or on, let's say, Instagram. And I'm scrolling and I'm watching, I'm having fun. I'm a carrier. And then there are millions, billions of people online. They're using their phones, and then hundreds of thousands of, carriers out there in the United States, because those carriers are in the United States. They're like, owner-operators. They drive their trucks, whatnot. And they're online. They're watching. And then guess what? There is an ad pops up. Literally somebody advertises. Let's say dispatcher. Let's say me as a kid, and I'm like watching. And then you popped up. You as a dispatcher, like, hey, we're doing, and by the way, 99% of the time, this is what happens. We are awesome. We've been in business for 20 years. I told you, nobody cares about how long you've been in business. Like literally, the experience, the reason why carriers not really care about experience, because if I've been in business, I dispatch other people's trucks, and those people not making money with me, they're changing me multiple times, and I can't, hold them, and I can't retain them. And they've been doing this for many, many years and calling that experience. Literally. Like you couldn't help. You can't help a carrier. And you've been doing this exact same thing for many, many years, and now you're telling me that you have 20 years of experience? No. Like that's the reason. Like they are like carriers. They are dispatchers. Been in in business for 6 months, and they're great. And you've been in business for 20, 40 years, and so what? Like a lot of things changing, a lot of people adapting technology, think AI, right? So now you know what to do, what to say to them, and then now you're talking, like if it's trust. So I'm like scrolling and then you popped up and I'm like, man, we're awesome. We're, I don't know, $5 per mile, $6 per mile. And look, man, are these people dispatching everybody? Like, are these people dispatching box truck? Are these like heavy haul? Are these like, who are you? Like, I don't know. Like, you literally played with a platform and then you manipulated the algorithm. Now you showed up. I get it, but then I'm not the right fit. Like, I'm not looking for a dispatcher. Well, why? Well, because I'm unemployed. I have trucks, but I'm not making money. Why would I pay if I'm like, man, I'm literally thinking about paying my bills, like the DAT bill that I have, $250 per month. I'm like thinking, how am I going to pay that next month? Do you think I'm thinking about the dispatcher? Absolutely not. And guess what? That's the trap. 99% of the time, all the dispatchers out there, they do exact same thing. Approach a wrong carrier. In not knowing anything about the trust. They think that it's saturated market. There are a lot of dispatchers out there already. Man, dispatcher comes in, dispatchers come in, dispatchers go out. They're in the business, they're out of business next month. Like literally, like what do you think when somebody says, I'm a dispatcher? Very, very small percentage of those dispatchers, I'm literally talking about the independent freight dispatchers, very small percentage in the business making money. Majority of those people who are making money, man, I would say more than 90%, I would say 95% of those having between 3 and 5 trucks. It could be 5 different owner-operators, or it could be one carrier has maybe 3-4 trucks. That's the average that I see. Majority of dispatchers out there. Why? Why is that? Why these people have on average 3 to 5? Well, because nobody teach this. Nobody teach them how to get the carrier. Somebody referred to them. Somehow they approach on truck stop, or I don't know, they did something and now they got the carrier, averaging about 3 to 5. And guess what? What's happening with the trucking company? Think about it. More than 80% of the trucking companies in the United States, they have 6 or less trucks. Why? Why is that? Like, have you ever thought about this? Well, because when people go into business, they don't know business. I'm one of those. At least I were. When I started my trucking business, I knew nothing about trucking. Sales. Like, marketing. No, the only thing I know, hey, I need truck. Help me get the truck. I need the finance. Okay, here's a down payment. Man, my credit score is sucked. Okay, I need to guarantor. Who's the guarantor? Okay, one of my friends, he's been in business. Okay, help me. Okay, I don't have that much money. Can you lend me money? Got the truck, not knowing what I'm doing. Got the trailer. Man, we don't have a driver. What we're doing. Now we got so now we need the load board. What type of load board? Okay, this type of load board. Okay, got it. I got the load board. Start talking to people. People start rejecting me. You're an EMC. I'm like, man, this sucks. And that's how you learn. Right? See what's happening? Like literally that's what it is. People don't know how to run a business. That's why carriers can't grow. And that's why less than 1% of the carriers has like more than I think 100 trucks or something like that. Go do some research. You can come up with those numbers. You will see those numbers. So where to find? Knowing what they wanted to hear and what they care about. Trust is the number one thing. Now you know. And then you basically craft your script around this, right? Moving on, what is next? You think next is like creating your LLC. Hold on. No, you don't need an LLC. Just hold on. You don't have a carrier. You don't need an LLC. Okay? So see, like that's the reason why we did this. Order is messed up. And like 99.99% of the people, this is what they teach. How to start, where to start your LLC, X, Y, and Z. then get the carrier, here are the tools, load board, whatnot, you're in business. Good luck. Doesn't work that way. So now, let's say we have a carrier. Now we're talking to this carrier, now we're onboarding them, and then everything is cool, it's awesome. Now what? Now, obviously you're thinking, I need an LLC. No, you don't need an LLC, trust me. So now, well, here's the deal. It's like, it's not necessary to have the LLC. Like, you need an LLC. Let me take back. You need an LLC to run the business, right? So what I'm trying to say here is, like, getting a carrier first. And while you're getting the carrier, yes, you can get your LLC, whatnot. It's pretty quick, right? So you paid a couple $100, now you have the LLC, whatnot. What I'm trying to say is that it's very important to know what you're doing, and then now you must have the potential customer, if you will, so that you can build the business as you go. Or otherwise, 99% of the time, that's like teaching more than 30,000 people globally. This is what I see. LLC. 90% of those people, LLC. No carrier. You have an LLC and you also wanted to learn dispatching, and logically doesn't make any sense why you created your LLC if you want to learn dispatching, right? Well, because they took the course before me, and then that guru or the teacher, whatever, said that, hey, you need LLC. And that person created LLC. Okay? So now, tools. DAT, if you have a carrier already has a DAT. Most likely has the load board, but what I'm saying is DAT, right? So these people have, load board and maybe truck stop, whatnot. They will help you to log in or create sub account, and then you'll help them. That's no problem. If they don't, you can ask them and they can buy the subscription. It works in many ways. But an easy way, obviously, is having the 123 load board. Why? Well, because 123 load board is dispatcher friendly. DAT, more specifically, truck stop, they're not dispatcher friendly. They're like shipper, broker, carrier friendly. Dispatcher, no. What they think is dispatcher scammers. That's what they think. So DAT, since I've been with them for many, many years, and I taught a lot of dispatchers, and I brought a lot of customers to them, and they trust the process, but they work with a couple of influencers, if you will, people who create content, and they trust them. And if that's your students, we don't have problem. But now it is a problem. If I have a, let's say, student or the member, whatever, and now you must bring a carrier. So what I'm doing is like, hey, here's a carrier, and then here is the dispatcher. Like, he needs a load board, like help them. So literally there's a person that really helps us with the process. But again, trust. See, like, we need to trust the dispatcher that, hey, you're not a scammer, and I think that's one of the reasons why DAT wants, like, hey, you have to be in the US. The reason why is the physical address, you have the LLC. And again, why is that? Well, to trust. The background check. And again, why background check? Should I trust you? Should we give this platform the access to our platform? We don't know who you are, right? So once you have that, then obviously working as a sole proprietorship, and then now you like creating your LLC, whatnot, making it like legal and awesome, whatever. That's how it works. Now let's talk about those, understanding like the dispatching. Obviously, who's this for? That's number one thing. When people say, where do I start? And obviously I want to understand that person, because you want to do dispatching. Why? Well, if somebody says, I want to make money, go do something else. Literally, if you're watching right now, aspiring dispatcher, maybe you're thinking, I want to become a dispatcher. This sounds cool, great, whatever. Go do something else. If you wanted to like just make money, it's tough. It's not easy. If somebody says that it's easy, they're lying to you. They need your money. Just run away from them. It's not easy. It's tough. Getting carriers tough. Making them say is tough. Keeping them in the game is tough. A lot of accidents. A lot of carriers don't pay. A lot happening in this industry. You basically can't stand and you just will give up. It's not for everybody. It's not about dispatching. It's about trucking. Trucking, it's not for everybody. Period. I'm telling you. I'm not saying that you have to be tough, you have to be, I don't know, alpha man or whatever. No, it's not about that. But it's just tough, you know? It's not about, I want to make money. You can sell online and make a lot of money. You can create YouTube videos and make money, if that's the case. But I think this is for the person who really, let's say maybe you're a wife of an owner-operator. Your husband just leaves and then goes, I don't know, 30 days out, maybe 40, like, I don't know, you don't see them. Your kids don't see them. And what you need to do, like, you need to understand the process and help your husband, or vice versa, right? And if you're really business-minded, if you're like, I want to be an entrepreneur, this is for you. It's the idea here is just not for everybody. That's what I realized. Teaching more than 30,000 people, I realized that, man, it's not for everybody. You have a job and you get paid, I don't know, 3,000, 4,000, and you're like, man, dispatching sounds cool. Well, sounds cool because people making it sound cool, and that's why you're giving up on your dreams and then like, man, I want to do dispatching. Don't. Well, if you have a job, good luck. Awesome, just keep doing that. It's tough. If you really like to serve the carrier, really like the hectic place, it's like all the time on the phone, you love the communication, you love the challenge, then yes. Basically like entrepreneurship, right? So if you want to be an entrepreneur, then yes, you can definitely do that. But like literally, as a mentor, as a coach, I taught thousands of people. Like I realized that, man, I should have like stated earlier. Like when people joining, I'm like, man, please don't. Like just relax, think about this. I don't know, just postpone this, do a little bit of more research. It sounds cool, but it's not. So if you're really into entrepreneurship, into challenge, like really helping like these carriers moving, a lot of stress, by the way. If you're like, man, that's what I want, that's your game. Period. So, little bit of LLC sole proprietorship. The difference is obviously I'm not a lawyer. This is a quick disclaimer. I'm not a CPA. I have lawyers. I have the CPA that I work with, and I always consult. I get advice from them. Just do a little bit of a research about sole proprietorship, and then obviously the LLC. LLC is like you protect it more in a very simple language so you can understand. Sole proprietorship is like easy to start, and obviously the vulnerability is there, right? So that means a lot of risks on you as a person. You can start with your social security. You don't need an EIN, right? So if you want to start quickly, you can work with your social security and obviously create that business. The LLC, you protect it. It's a limited liability company. You protect it. And again, as I said, talk to these attorneys, small business attorneys, and a lot of people asking me, do you know that, like, I don't know, show me or give me the law. Man, you are online. Go do a little bit of research and talk to these small business attorneys. These people like online, literally they're offering, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of like free consultation, whatnot. Just talk to these people. CPAs, like everywhere, just talk to them and ask, this. But what I'm saying is you have, options. Which structure makes the most sense? To me personally, LLC, because of the protection. When you grow, obviously you can do like small corporation, whatnot. But the structure makes sense the most is the LLC. Okay, but you don't need an LLC right away. You can start with the sole proprietorship, and then you can take it from there. Now, I think this is the biggest myth. Maybe you watching right now, you're thinking about this. Do I need a prior trucking experience? Means like, do I have to be a driver or like wife and owner operator or whatever, or owner operator or a carrier, whatever, like the dispatcher actually dispatch somewhere? Do I need that? You don't need any prior experience, although it's recommended. But if you don't, why I say it's not recommended? Because I started with no experience in trucking. I literally started zero experience in trucking. And there are a lot, hundreds of thousands of people out there, they starting business with no experience. And I think that's one of the reasons why they go quickly out of business. You learn as you go. I think number one differentiator here is not giving up. Because as you can see, like first started learning about learning about dispatching back in 2008. This was just like a paperwork, working for one of my friends, talking to these brokers, doing the broker carrier agreement, learning the process basically. So like you can start with zero, not knowing anything, and then from there obviously you can take to the next level. So you don't need a trucking experience. Now coming back to tools, let's talk about the tools, and then I'll show you a couple of those tools. So load boards, you heard a lot. DAT is the number one, right? The DAT is the number one. In my opinion, a lot of carriers out there, a lot of dispatchers, you can even see, go on Instagram and start looking for like type dispatch or dispatching or whatever, and then you will see those people talking about dispatching. You will see on their screens that 99% of the time you will see DAT. That's what they're using. So DAT is the top. I'll put truck stop maybe second. 1, 2, 3 load, but I love the company. Great people. I know the CEO personally. Awesome, great guy. So there's three, tools, right? Basically, the load board. Getting access to them it's kind of tough. DAT, semi-dispatcher friendly. Truck stop, not dispatcher friendly. Like, don't even try. It's hard. I think that's one of the reasons why you see those videos on Instagram, the DAT, because DAT is semi dispatcher friendly, but truck stop, no. Specifically carriers, you have to have an MC. So 1, 2, 3 load board, they are dispatcher friendly. That means you can go right now, create an account and start using it for 30 days, no charge. If you like it, you can continue using it. So then, must have tools. Some people might say, well, Excel spreadsheet. And by the way, you see a lot of people using Excel spreadsheet because dispatching agencies and dispatchers, they are price sensitive. Why? Well, because most of dispatchers, they broke. That's why. Why they would spend, I don't know, $200 on a software? They won't, because they're not making $200. Okay? So that's the reason. So they will be using something like Excel, spreadsheets, whatnot, maybe free online tools out there. I did a video, a Trello. You can use a Trello board, basically using as your, CRM, if you will. So then contacting with the people, they need to schedule a call with you if you going like doing the outreach or the attracting method. The Calendly is, I think, like $10 a month or something like that. They also have the free version. So you can use, these tools. And I also, for some, like most of you, maybe you guys know that we developed this DMS, dispatching management system. And some people, for some reason, they, confused about, well, is it a load board? It's not a load board. You can connect your load boards. It's coming up. You connect your load boards and you in one unified screen, you will see all the load boards out there, and then you can just, work from there. Now, DMS is, as I said, is for dispatching services, specifically independent freight dispatching services. And again, remember, let me pull this and I will show you that we did this one. Remember, the unemployed and employed and in business. And I'm not looking for unemployed dispatchers. Well, simply this tool is not for you. Although we have founding member like $97 per month. And by the way, link will be below this video. You can check it out yourself. But then it will be $297 because that's how you run your business. That's the entire system. It's there. All the carriers we connected to these tools, and like we literally, you can filter those carriers and start emailing them, and then you run your business basically. That's the business in a box, if you will, right? So what do you think? Unemployed dispatcher, price sensitive dispatchers, they can't pay even $10. They just can't afford. They don't like it. They might use Excel spreadsheet. That's the reason. If you think that way, that's the reason I think you're not growing, and that's the reason your carriers just leaving you, because you're not running the business. You like patching this tool and that tool, and then like you're trying to do business, but you're not in the business. You definitely need a software that helps you run your business, right? For salespeople, the number one thing comes up to your mind is HubSpot or Salesforce. So those people using those tools to run their businesses. Otherwise, how, right? So the load board, you need load boards. It's very important to have the load board. Without load boards, what? See, it's tough. You need to treat the same way. A lot of dispatchers using Excel spreadsheets, ask them how much money they made last month, they will be guessing. What's your average rate per mile? They will be guessing. What's the top, 20% of the brokers? They will be guessing. Guesswork. That's what it is. Even when they booking loads, they're guessing. I'm literally talking to this dispatcher. He was dispatching. I'm like, you just booked this load to that driver over there. I said, yes. And I'm like, what was the reason you booked that? Because it pays good. Because of the RPM, rate per mile. If that person goes there, like what about the load that he needs to take? Let's say if this person goes to Houston, Texas, what about load out of the Houston, Texas? And you know what he said? We'll figure it out. Well, like you have no plan. No. We booked, this load is 4.45 or something like that per mile. Really good money. And he goes to Houston, Texas, and he has no plan. Like, what am I going to take this driver? Like, next? What am I doing? Am I going all the way to California, like West Coast? Am I taking that driver coming back to the East Coast? Like, what about inbound, outbound? Do you know? No, I'm like the guesswork. It's all about high RPM. It's all about generating revenue for their carriers. Revenue. If you're watching, about 5 of you watching right now, congratulations. I'll share the secret with you. Revenue does not equal to profit. Just remember this. If you really want to serve your carriers, revenue does not equal to profit. You need to know the unit economics, a lot of things that go into the business, be honest with you. And again, see, like you need to learn the business. It's very important. Now, we're talking about unemployed, employed in the business. This is the secret. Don't attract these unemployed carriers. They don't have money. They will reject you right and left. You'll be just frustrated. Even one of them said yes, magically, maybe let me give it a try and see. Those are the, by the way, carriers that will leave you with no money, never coming back, never answering your phone. Attract these employed. That means these are the carriers making money right now and they want to make more money. These are the people who are interested in buying more trucks, like hiring more drivers. Guess what? They need more dispatchers. But how? Like, how am I getting those carriers? I'm telling you the easiest way to get the carrier. And again, getting carrier means attracting these carriers, not chasing. I'm not good at it. I can't chase them. I can create content and I'll attract them. If I never created content, I never, or let's say, never on camera. Well, I started somewhere. Like literally, watch my like first or second video, you will see. I think first 20 videos, even more. They're like showing something and talking. Because I was scared. Like, what other people will say about me? Like, barely speak English and I'm trying to teach people. So, relax. You're a human being. You're a human being. I'm a human being talking to a human being. It's okay to mess up. Literally, right in, like, before this live session, I'm like, click go live, and I'm like, boom, YouTube deleted. I'm like, what's happening? Technology will fail if you're not failing. It's okay to fail. Like, why are you so scared? I'm literally, like, English is my fourth language. I'm like, keep repeating it. Keep saying like, keep saying these filler words because I'm thinking while I'm trying to say something. And I'm at the same time trying to teach something. It's okay. It's your life. Enjoy. I'm literally having fun talking to people, sharing, what I know about business, all that good stuff. So I think the last part was showing the phone. I need to connect to my computer real quick so that you can see that it really works. And by the way, maybe you're also thinking, I'll be showing you, my phone, logging into my social media accounts, showing you that their carriers actually, want, like, you're looking for a carrier. I'm like, man, carriers are out there looking for dispatching services. That's what I'm going to show you. So before I do that, maybe you're thinking, oh, Kamal, it's easy for you because you've been in business, for X amount of years. You've been creating content. Let me say this. You're right. You absolutely 100% right, because it's easy for me. Yes, I'm not saying that it's not easy. I'm not bragging. I'm telling you the truth. Why? It's easy for me because I started 4, 5, 6 years ago. What have you been? I was scared. I was nervous. I started. You should start today. What's stopping you? Nothing stops you. You have a phone. If you're watching this, you have some sort of technology. Create content. That's how you attract. I'll be showing you that, it's real. So let me, without further ado, let me log in and then I'll show you. There you go. Code popped up. What I'm doing is I want to show you my phone, my, my social media accounts. Bear with me because I've a lot of things going on. So I'm just kidding. Now I connected. Let me close this and we'll go to, give me a quick sec. So we have, okay, so I'll do this and I'll show you. Now, there you go. So I logged in, I connected my phone. So let me do this so you can see it. Let's go there. I think I need to do share full screen. Okay, so I'll do stop and full screen so you can see it, the entire screen. I think you need to see this. So now you see my screen. Basically what I see, my computer, there is my truck. So now what I'm gonna do, I think I need to make it bigger so you can see it. So what I'm about to show you is that these are the people, and by the way, look at, let me do this. So you can, I'm trying to make it bigger so you can see it. So let's do, okay, I think this one. So you can see it bigger. Oh, there you go. Awesome. So what you see, somebody already like, I want to see it closely, what's happening. So what's happening here? Let me show you. So this is, see, it's endless, right? Endless of carriers, they want what? They want dispatching services. For example, this person. Let's go here. We talked a lot. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Are you doing work? New MC DOT. There you go. That's the carrier. Okay. I'm not gonna, show you what we talked about, his company name, whatnot, the MC number. I'm not gonna show you. But there are a lot of it. I think this one also, hey, do I get load system? I tried, but, oh, cargo van. Okay. So I'm not doing cargo van. That's the thing. And then as you can see, like the new one is about 2 days ago. And I haven't been posting on TikTok. So how many followers I have? Well, I have almost 28,000 people. Yes. But here is the kicker. So maybe you're thinking, because you have, so many whatever followers, that's what it is, right? I wasn't posting for, I don't know, at least for 5 years. What happened was one of my videos went like, I'm not gonna say viral, but semi-viral. That means I think I got close to 300 or 400,000 views. Just one video, and it was a load board, showing load boards and talking to these owner operators, saying, hey, here is a load like goes from Atlanta, Georgia, or Houston, Texas, or something like that. Like, literally, that video is there. Dispatch trucks, go to my account, the profile, and you can see it. Those videos are there. And people just coming, right? And like, man, I need help. Same thing with the Instagram. So that's basically a proof that these people out there looking for dispatching services. Yes, there are a lot of box truck. I think I also have the Instagram. I can show it to you. Give me a quick second. Also Instagram. Let me see if you can see it. Oh, you're not seeing it. Okay, cool. Let me see if I do this. This, for example, person. And again, let me show you real quick, and then we'll take it from there. So this person, share it. Stop sharing and now share this person. And again, see, this one was yesterday. Now let me show you this. Share my screen. I think the entire screen. There you go. So real quick, this person, I'll make it bigger so you can see it. And this person, reached out to me yesterday. What he wants is he's in box truck, but I don't do box truck. If you do box truck, then hey, there you go, right? You're creating content. On Instagram, I have 5,000 people. So, but majority of the real carriers come from YouTube. I have the email, they look out the email, and obviously they're commenting, and I'll be, reaching out to them. And then they, watch videos like, oh, this guy has, TikTok account, and they will go there, and then they will DM me, whatnot. So, or you have, 27,000 people coming back to this. Well, it's easy for you. Majority of my students, they got. Why am I not showing you? Let me show you. Majority of those. Let me close this. Students that I have, and again, I'm not saying that, hey, you must be one of my students, whatnot, to see these results. But what I'm trying to say is that it's doable. Like real people, like they're doing it. You can do it too. So let me go there, and then I'll show you that most of these people got less than 30 days because there is a format, there is a strategy. How many times to post, when to post, and how long that video should be, right? So let's go, and I'll do share my screen, and I'll go here, and I'll share it this. I think I already shared it with you, but then I'll share it again. Now, let's go, let me close this. It will be easy for me. There you go. So, awesome. Now you guys see this. Let me show you this. So, there is a Rodrigo, one of my previous students, from 0 to 1,000 followers, like in 30 days. I think it was less than 30 days. It was like in his third week. This is where he exploded, getting like hundreds of thousands of views. I think a couple of videos got more than 1,000, if I'm not mistaken. But majority of those videos bringing like the leads, the conversation, the owner operators and carriers talking to him. So Rodrigo is one. There was Elena, 3.6 views. It was like on first video. She posted a video and then boom, 3.6 views. And she generated a lot of, I think she got up to, how many, can't remember exactly the followers she got from just one video. And it was just like, man, you post now and now you start seeing the results. And by the way, algorithm changed. Now it favors like new creators that come into the game. Like it was really tough back then. Like now I see that I get a lot of followers and a lot of subscribers on YouTube and followers on Instagram. Like as soon as you post, people start watching. So it's easy now. Let me do this first video. 20 to 30K per year lead he got. First contract back. I think Allman had also within 30 days. I think he got one of his video as we talked about at the beginning. So this is the video was 427,000 views and he got more than 5,000 followers in less than 30 days. That's what happened. And I'm not saying that you will see exact same results. And he got the, kid, as you can see, he posted his rate confirmation inside the community. But I'm not saying that you will see exact same result, but what I'm saying that it works. A lot of people have done it already. If I just scroll down and you can see a lot of people in the past did that, right? So, closing this, and then I will take the question. This is the Q&A part. I think this is the fun part. If you have questions, please let me know, and then we'll take it from there. Let me make it bigger so that we can see each other. There you go. Oops. Okay, awesome, cool. Now, let me take, okay, I'm in. So let's take this one. Can I start without an LLC? I think we already talked about this. You can definitely start without your LLC. Okay, let me move this. I think it's distracting. So let's there you go. So you can definitely start with no LLC. And I don't recommend, be honest with you, for like, even for my students or the community members, I'm not gonna say no, like, don't create an LLC until you get your first carrier. You need to learn how to attract these carriers and talk to these carriers, then you can create. Like creating LLC, it's easy peasy, right? That means you pay a couple $100. I don't know. In my state, it will be $100. In your state, maybe less or more. But that's what it is. Basically, creating LLC. It's easy. Okay. Now let's take this one. What's up, my brother DAT in chat? What's up? So I thought that was a question. But let me take this in and Luke. And I promise that I will be taking your question. Be honest with you. I think you asked me a question about the trust was the problem for you if you're still watching. You said, what if I charge 15%? I think it was the net profit, if I'm not mistaken. If you are here watching, please, ask again. I will take that question. You said trust is the problem. Carriers don't want to work with, dispatchers. What if I offer 15% like the net? That means if my carrier nets, what that means is that if my carrier makes money, I will charge, right? So it's kind of win-win game. So if I'm not making money for the carrier, then obviously I'm not charging. So that basically removes the 7% whatnot. That's what you said, I think. If you're here watching, please, ask that question. While I'm taking this question, is social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, marketing one of the ways? I think is the way. The social media is the way. In fact, you're watching me right now and you're commenting, and then I'm taking these questions you have. See, that's the proof that it works, and that's how we build a relationship. And by the way, a lot of content creators out there who create content, that's what they do. They build a relationship with potential customers. That's what it is. And these companies that worth billions of dollars, they're on YouTube. Everybody on YouTube, everybody create content. Do you think they having fun? I think most people having fun. Be honest with you, I having fun, and that's why I've been almost just 2 hours. We started like 5 p.m. and we were still talking. We covered a lot, right? How to find a carrier, how to get those carriers, what to say those carriers, a lot, right? I showed you everything, almost everything. So, and building a relationship, I think that's what's happening. So if you are a potential carrier, you would be interested in working with me. Don't you? Like, wouldn't you? Why am I saying this? Because I think we're already building a, relationship. We're connecting. That's what's happening here. I'm sharing the value with you. I'm talking to you. I'm taking your questions. That's what's happening. And if you do this for 30 days, I'm telling you, like if you stick to, let's say at least, let's say, be realistic and say 60-day sprint, right? The challenge, or 90-day challenge. Man, 3 months. How many of those 3 months you already lost? How many of those 3 months I lost? A lot. Years, right? Why don't you start creating content? And I promise you, people start reach out to you. And you might say that, well, there are a lot of people doing it already. Why would I care? What would you care? A lot of people out there with thousands of subscribers already teaching, dispatching, teaching, being a carrier or buying trucks, whatnot, and you're still watching, and if you're still interested in working with me or connecting with me, why? Because I'm unique, you are unique, and those people are unique. Like each person has own uniqueness, like own experience. I have experience. I have close to 60,000 people on Instagram. I have people know that they like have close to 400,000 on YouTube teaching, like dispatching, how to start your trucking company, whatnot. 400,000 compared to 50,000. And I'm telling you, I taught that person how to attract, dispatchers and how to teach them and all that good stuff. Why? Well, because he didn't like know how to create like sales funnels, that script, whatnot. I just showed him the, system. But I have way less than, subscribers than he has. I taught more than 30,000 people. Maybe he taught a couple hundred, but he like 400. I do see people teaching like 100,000 subscribers, 150,000, 200,000. And why you still care in watching me? I'm not saying that I'm better than them, but I'm not saying either that they're better than me. But I have a unique approach, and then those people have a unique approach to teach people, show, or help, whatever. Same thing with the carrier. Carrier, by the way, average carrier, the carrier works on average with a dispatcher. 4 to 5 average, like we can easily say that carrier on average works about 6 dispatchers. Did you know that? On average, 6. I know carriers working with multiple dispatchers. And you think somehow that you are very unique, and then that will be the only carrier that you will be working, and you will be the only dispatcher for that carrier. Absolutely not. This is trucking. Welcome. So it's absolutely not. So you will be out there putting content and then delivering value, creating this relationship. Remember, the number one objection, the number one reason why you don't have a carrier is because of the trust. People don't trust you. I don't trust you. You don't trust me. That's the thing. But then if that's the problem, then what's the solution? This interaction live. Right now, I'm talking to you. Literally, see that? Like you watching me right now, I'm building a relationship with you. So I'm thinking, hoping in the future, maybe a month from now, maybe 6 months from now, maybe you'll approach me and say, hey, Kamal, I'm a carrier and I need your help. Or, hey, Kamal, I saw you created this, developed this software called Dispatch Trucks, the DMS. I'm interested in, using it. I'm like, can we do demo? Yeah, sure. Let me help you. Right? Or, hey man, I'm like interested in becoming independent freight dispatcher. Can you teach me? See what's happening? Same thing. Delivering value to carriers. I don't know what to say. Can you just take the phone and then record your, screen and then just talk? Pull up some information online and then start talking, and you will see. You will see that people will listen to you and people will just watch what you say. Literally, people go, people come, right? I do see about like 5 people. Now I do see like 10 people watching. And these people just join in and they don't know what I'm talking about here. Maybe they, were here, then they can't come. There you go, 2 people already gone. They don't know. They will go, and then will come back. They will listen. If they're interested, they will be listening. And some of you watching maybe from the beginning. People come, people go. It's okay. And you will post the video, and then, YouTube will do the job, and then it will get even more views. Last time, I think on Thursday we did the video about how to get carriers. That video got almost 400 views. 400 views. Maybe you're thinking, man, what's the point? People getting 4,000, 400,000. Man, 400 views. 400 people watched my content. Can you imagine? 400. Forget about 400. Let's say 100. 100 unique views. These are like 100 people watched my content. I was right in front of like 400 people. Can you imagine that? Can you just think about it? You don't need thousands of views to get up and running business, be honest with you. Like, bottom of my heart, you don't. Even now, YouTube became, and I think I own the right to say it, because I've been teaching and creating content since 2018, right? Pre-COVID. I know what I'm talking about. I invested a lot of my money into like how to use, YouTube. Yes, I was busy. I was doing X, Y, and Z. I was developing the software, whatnot. I wasn't creating content, whatnot. Just, I know the game. I know a lot about YouTube. Now it changed. The algorithm, it completely changed. How? In what way? Well, now you don't need views. I used to get, when I do live stream, on average, I had about like 70 people. 170 people. On average, hundreds of people were watching. This back in 2021, 2022. Average about like 150 people watching. Can you imagine that? 150 people watching on average live stream. And then when I post that video, within a couple of days, 6,000, 4,000, 5,000 views. Now, on average, 10 people watching. I can easily say 7 people on average, 5 p.m. Eastern time, 7 people. And when I post, I'm not getting 4,000, now I'm getting 400, but those are the unique views. That means those are the people really interested in dispatching. They're really interested in knowing and learning what you're about to say or what you teach. You don't need views, like those thousands of views. You just need views. It could be 5 people. By the way, I shared this strategy with one of my friends, and I said, you should start creating content. And he's a carrier. He's looking for like brokers and shippers. And I said, you can definitely attract. Now he started creating, content in like, man, I have no views. My video has been sitting there. It's embarrassing, sitting there for about 5 days now. I have only 4 views. I'm like, keep saying, keep preaching, keep pushing him, saying, man, those are 5 unique people that watched your YouTube video. Those are the 5, even maybe brokers, maybe shippers, watched that video that you're talking about something that they're interested. And that kept going. 10 views, 15. No, I'm not gonna say that he's now YouTuber with hundreds of thousands of followers. No, I think he got about like 3,000-ish. But he gets a lot of brokers, and obviously he got the business going, right? And he's right around like 400 views, 500 views. That's what he had. And then he's creating content specifically for brokers, and he's like on his truck, and sometimes he's driving, sometimes he's recording his drivers, he's recording his shop. That's it. And then at the same time, if you're thinking, what type of content should I create if I am a dispatcher? Man, if you are a dispatcher, if you have a load board, just, have your, camera like that, pointing at your, screen. Don't show your face if you don't want to, and start talking. Hey, here's the load, here's what you're doing. Just show them what you're doing. And then people will be watching. People bored. People want entertainment. And I think that's one of the reasons why TikTok is so famous. And I'm on TikTok. And, when I get bored, I'm on TikTok watching videos. A lot of trucking videos. Like, I'm having fun. Don't you? Like, you're doing exact same thing. You're watching content. Then you either produce the content or you consume content. Which way? So if you're in that, side of the equation, who consumes the content, but not producing the content, right? Then obviously you're not making money. You're basically, as we talked about, you're unemployed when it comes to the strategy we talked about, right? So if you are consuming the content, but you're also creating a content, right? You're producing the content, you're onto something. Why you think I'm creating content? Like, yes, I enjoy, because if I'm not enjoying, be honest with you, I can't just talk for 2 hours nonstop with, like, I have a water, but I haven't, like, just nonstop talking, because I love to share what I know. I'm literally having fun doing this. Like, every single Tuesday and every single Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern time, I'm with people, real people watching me right now. Imagine, like, 5 of you watching right now, 5 people. Do you know how I imagine this? Like, 5 people sitting right in front of me right now. That's basically what I do. Like, 5 people sitting, I'm like friend with them, and I'm talking. Maybe I'm crazy, you think. Maybe I am, I don't know. But see, 6 people. Now, you guys watching, and I'm 6 people in my office right now. I'm sharing, like, I'm teaching. That's the game, right? So when you produce the content, obviously you're onto something. And the second important thing, this is the business. This is like, there's no, like, 100% honesty, like total transparency. YouTube is the business. A lot of people reach out to me, like, I have people that wanted to be a partner on the software aspect, on the dispatching aspect, on the carrier aspect, or the trucking aspect. There are a lot of amazing people, a lot of dispatchers. I get drivers out of, TikTok, people DMing me, people watching my content. That's the business. So if you don't have this, it's hard. It's hard to get a carrier. Even you, as a carrier, if you're watching now, it will be tough on you to, be in business, be honest with you. Let me share this, very important. I think this will help you a lot. And then I also have, Luke has this question. Luke says, Rukon AI is a crazy tool and one of its kind right now, really helpful. Awesome. Cool. So, there you go. I want to share this with you. So see, I have the credit application. So I will just hide the company name, but then here is the credit application. I don't know. Let me do this. There you go. This is the credit application. This is 100% honesty, like total transparency. So one of the reasons they said yes, like the loaning the money, whatnot, the buying the equipment or whatever you want to buy, is because I have the content. See, it's not about like, man, I have hundreds of thousands, I'm famous, whatnot. I'm not into that, be honest with you. I'm more into being a human being and talking to people, doing business, help them make money on I'm in the business making money. Don't take me wrong. I'm like, I want to make money, just like you. You want to make money, and I want to make money. Like, nobody hides that, right? I'm in the business of making money. So, in talking to this, sales rep, and I'm like, man, by the way, and he says like, well, what are the other businesses like you have or something like that? We're talking, and I'm like, man, I'm not, into business because I was creating this software, like we heads down with the team building this, software for the last 3 years. So then what I was also doing is like creating content. I was like, oh, you're creating content? I'm like, yeah. Or you're an influencer? I'm like, man, like I do have almost 60,000 people on YouTube. It's growing, awesome people. Like the people are engaging with the content. And I have, fast growing TikTok account. It's close to 28,000. And I have 5,000 on Instagram and a growing email list that I have. He's like, man, well, I think that's what we want. Well, like, what do you mean? See, the trust. So a lot of things tells about when the person creates content. Why? Well, because it's not easy. It's hard. Being consistent. I'm not consistent. I'm not owning that position. It's not about like I'm a consistent, but it's really hard. It's really hard to create content, what to say, how to present. Do I have that experience? Like a lot of people fabricating, and I don't want to fabricate. I'm like, man, I did it. Here you go. Here's the result of my result. Here's my student's result. It's not about just fabricating. But by the way, a lot of people, and there is a scam, by the way, I want to share this. A lot of people out there literally copying me. So if you don't trust me, let me go there and I will show it to you. People, let me show you. This is the scam. You need to like stay away from this. Okay. This is the website. They're literally, man, why I can't talk and at the same time, let me do this and then I'll show it to you. So these people are scammers. And if you're watching me, here we go. So let me share this. And do not buy from these people. These are the scammers. If you buy this, that's it. Your money is gone. So let me share my screen. A lot of people started copying, obviously, right? So here you go. Let me share this. So watch this. Like, some of you maybe know they're spending a lot of money to like spam people. Don't do that. And here's the reason. Like, I want you to take a look. See that? Some WhatsApp screenshot with our students. Guess what? These these are my students. Let me show you. So you're thinking like a lot of people out there, they're just spamming you guys. Let me show you this. Okay. See that? Like these are my students. And these people pretending like it's me and like, guess what? Here my, students, see how much they're making. I don't even know. These people are scammers. Don't buy from them. I'm thinking like maybe they also, copied my course and then selling it inside. Scammers. Stay away. A lot of people, came to me and said, man, I bought the course, from, this website and then I have the certificate. Like, man, these results, they're not theirs. It's my students. There you go. Be careful. So, I think we are good to go. We shared a lot today. So let me come back and then I take, if you guys have questions. I don't think you guys have a question. I think we're good. So on Thursday, we will be doing, should I say it? But I was like, man, let's do this. I'll create the live stream, obviously. You will see on YouTube. We'll be talking about something amazing. And also, I think from like this point, going forward, let's say, most importantly, what I realized in majority of the videos that I post about how to use load boards, how to get carriers. Those are the videos really you guys liking it, right? So I'll be doing those videos more. So what I realized is that the how to find carriers, that's the number one. And then second one is how to use a load board. If you really need me like live going over the load board, and then you also comment or ask the question, then I'll be taking those questions at the same time. It will be like live training, if you will, on Thursday with the load board. I'll be comparing like 1, 2, 3 load board to DAT, and then that's how you will learn. Like, it's not about here is the origin, here's destination. No, those are the like real strategies that you can use so you can help your carriers moving. Now, maybe you're thinking, come on, what's the point? Why for 2 hours, we already passed 2 hours, you are on YouTube and you're sharing this for free, we're learning a lot. Well, what's the catch? Well, as I said, I think on Tuesday of last week, there is no catch. But there is the honesty, right? 100% honesty, total transparency. I said, in the last 3 years, I've been building this tool. And by the way, I'm a self-taught, if you didn't know, self-taught software developer. And I had a team of people, myself, we created this tool that called Dispatch Trucks. It's the DMS, Dispatching Management System. We created for independent freight dispatching agencies. These are the 4 people who run their independent freight dispatching agency. And when you start making money, right? If I show you everything, how to get the carrier, how to use a load board, how to get access to a load board, if I help you that, I think those are the like 2 things, like the blockers. If I just unblock that, and now you know how to get the carrier, and you know how to use a load board and get access to a load board, I think you will use the tool that I developed, the tool that I have. That's, if you're thinking like, look, what's the catch? There's no catch. That's the thing. If I create independent freight dispatching agencies, help them get carriers, help them make money, actually, right? Nothing hiding, nothing holding back. It's just helping them get up and running. And then they naturally will incline towards like using my tool. And then I will show you, and then I will demo the tool, and you will start using that tool, and that's the whole game. And again, remember, I said I'm in the business of making money, and you wanted to make money, I will share everything, and then nothing to hold, and you don't need to pay anything to other courses and the gurus out there. Literally, those people, like, trust me, if they know how to get carriers, they will be like dispatching themselves. And nobody, like, I haven't seen in the last 20 years that I've been in trucking, close to 20 years. I never saw a person who like teaches everything about dispatching. Like, hey, I have, like, literally, I don't want competition. Why would I? Like, I'm like having this really cool business, laptop style, whatever, right? I'm dispatching, I know how to get carriers. And I don't think those people will be teaching that business. So they are in the business because they want to make money. Because selling courses is lucrative, be honest with you. There are a lot of scammers out there copying other people and then, scamming people. I just showed you, right? Stay away from them. But as I said, like, that's basically it. So what should I say, right? So if you're really into becoming an independent freight dispatcher, this is the channel you will be learning everything. But the number one thing will be how to get carriers, because that's the number one objection you guys have, how to get carriers. And then we'll be also going into like showing you how to run ads. Maybe we can do another like live session where like I set up the meta ads and then targeting people. And by the way, you don't need that because you can use ads to scale. means if you are like in the middle, like employed, right? So you have career, you're making some money, then you can take some of that money and then you can invest so you can get more people just like these people. Then yes, I can show you. I think paid ads are really cool. People will be just instantly, I don't know, filling up the forums and talking to you, whatnot. It's cool, but you need to understand the nature of running ads. I run like hundreds of thousands of, like, I hired agencies, I run myself, I learned a lot about running ads, but don't go that way. I've seen a lot of dispatchers, they don't even know if they can deliver, they're running ads. Hey, Kamal, I'm spending, I don't know, $20 a day. Like, you're not. You just like wasting your time, money, and energy. Like, you don't need that. Why? Well, because it's easy. $20, here and then. And guess what? What's happening? The meta looking for those carriers, like unemployed carriers. That means they're in the business, they're not making money. And it's a wrong audience. Why? Well, because you don't have the data to fit in. Let me share this with you. So if I dispatch, I teach people how to dispatch. Over the years, I have thousands of, like, dispatchers. I know almost everything about, like, what they like what type of content they, consume. Like, I have the data, right? And then having that knowledge, now I know how to create ads so that I can get return on my investment. So $20 here, $500, course, and then you didn't like it, then there's a $2,000 course, you spend $2,000, now your ad spend is $3,000, now you spend or wasted, let's say $10,000, and like you have nothing. Well, yeah, because nobody told you that that's not how it works. As I said, if you want to run ads, if you want to attract carriers, number one thing is the trust. Carriers don't trust dispatchers, just period. And as I said, the most important aspect, I think the most important point of this entire video, this is very important to understand. You don't have a carrier because you're not ready. Like, literally, that's what it is. It's like you're not ready to dispatch. Some people just scared. Like, I don't know how to dispatch. I don't know how to use load boards. Have you asked those questions yourself? I don't know how to dispatch. I don't know what to say to a broker. I'm nervous. I never called a carrier. See? And that's the noise. That's the 99% of the people out there, and then they're not ready. And that's why they don't, get the carrier. They don't have the carrier. And most people who are already dispatching, already have the, carriers, they will join live sessions like these just to learn a little bit more about the strategy or specific tactic that they're waiting for. And these people are pretty busy. Imagine, these people dispatching, these people already in the game, they don't care about, live stream and there's a guy, I don't know, talking about dispatching or how to get carriers for 2 hours. They don't. They're dispatching. They're busy. But most people don't have carriers watching live sessions. I'm like you watching. If you don't have a carrier, right? If be honest with yourself. If you don't have a carrier, it's because you're not ready. You don't feel you're ready. And that feeling will never go away. And that's dangerous. It will stay with you all the time. It will be just like don't go there. You will be just keeping you away from the success that you want. And success is basically like getting carrier, serving them and making money and feeding your family. And that's, I think, how the success looked like. I don't care if you're a man or, female or whatever, or, as long as you're a human being and you want to feed your family and you want to feel that you're part of something. Number one thing is that you're not ready, and that's the reason you don't have a carrier. And second is the trust, that missing aspect. And then I'm telling you right up front, it's getting worse. It's getting harder and harder and harder every single day. Thousands of people rushing into the game, and specifically right now. Why? Well, because rate are like now better. Brokers paying good, market is rewind, came back, like freight recession, officially ended. People buying trucks. Literally this morning I was meeting with one of my friends, and he ordered like 6 trucks or something. I think 6 trucks, and then obviously trailers, whatnot. So the reason he's getting more trucks, adding more trucks into his fleet, is because market, gotten better. Now a lot of people watching YouTube videos now, learning again, and they want to do dispatching. I don't want to buy trucks. A lot of owner operators, they like, man, I've been in business for, I don't know, 20 years, 30 years now. I want to dispatch. I know I don't want to go away from this industry, because I love the industry. By the way, you should love the industry, to be honest with you. Like trucking, I love trucking. And maybe you just like, man, I like making money. Well, who doesn't? I love making money. You love making money. And I think we are in the business making money. So that's one thing. But at the same time, you should love the industry itself. The trucks, how big they are. They're awesome. Like working with people, like as a family, with your dispatchers, with your drivers. You feel that you're part of something. It's great. And if you're really like outgoing person, if you're really like extrovert, I would say, if you're that type of person, then man, this game is for you. It will make you money. But yeah, it's challenging. A lot of people won't tell you that, hey, if you mess up, they're like, you're carried in trouble. If there's an accident, God forbid, load shifted, load damaged, this lawsuit, this thing happened. I'm not telling you to scare you. I'm telling you that, hey, this is business. Like anything, at any given moment, something can happen. And if you're not stress resistant, or if you can't hold the stress, you can't be in this business. And I think I'm guilty, and I share this story with you. When I bought my first truck, I realized that I'm not coping with the stress that I have. I'm guilty. I need to own this, be honest with you. You know what happened? Like first driver, I'm like, so we got the load. The second driver, we got the load. And the third driver, same thing. We got the load. He's delivering. I'm always anxious. I don't want to happen something. I don't want accidents. I don't want tickets. I don't want these layovers, detentions. You're in the wrong business, brother. Like, quit. And I think that's what was happening. I was like, I don't want this stress. And I think when one of my drivers hit by a car in California, this is where I got my gray hair. I was like, man, how am I going to cope with this? There's a police officer calls me and said, hey, are you the Prime Express? Yes. Oh, are you the owner of the Prime Express? Yes. One of your drivers was hit by a car. It's like, just think for a moment. I'm over the phone. The only thing I'm thinking is he alive? Because he has a family. See, that will shock you. And I'm not saying that you will hear those things, God forbid, but as a dispatcher, as a carrier, like almost every single day something happens. And you will be over the phone, you're looking at the, as a dispatcher, these are like the things that people hide from you. I want to share with you. You're looking at the load board from 6 o'clock in the morning, and somebody said nobody looks at the load board 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, man, you're not looking at the load board 6 o'clock, but there are a lot of dispatchers out there looking at the 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, but somebody might say 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever, 8 o'clock. From 8 o'clock until 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you're looking at the load board. Why? Hunting for a load. You can't go away like from the computer. You have to watch because the competition. If you're not looking at it, there are hundreds of thousands of dispatchers out there watching. Exact same load board, exact same lane. You need to be quick, right? So on top of that, you book a load, then your carrier says, man, something happened, X, Y, and Z. My wife said this. I want to take my kids. I have the graduation. You know, somebody dead. Something happened. Car, like accident. I feel this. I felt bad. I feel sick. Like you can't control these things, and you get frustrated because you want to make money. You are independent freight dispatcher, and you're thinking, oh, awesome, I have an office, I have a load board, I have a carrier, you booked loads, awesome, you're a boss, maybe you have a champagne, whatnot, and then you realize that carrier already disappeared. You're calling that carrier and he's not answering. Maybe that carrier, it's like give up on you already. And that carrier also working with somebody else that you just realized that this carrier also working with this dispatcher. You realize that you did all the hard work and then he didn't pay you. You're really trying your best, but then you realize that this driver is not going along with you. He's not listening to you. And then 3 o'clock in the morning, your carrier calls you and says, listen, wake up. Like, I'm an accident. I have an accident. I have this. The load shifted. I need your help. I'm like, man, I'm not doing 24/7 dispatching, whatnot. And then he's cursing you and then like, gone. Next day, that's it. You can't hear from this carrier again. If you really want to serve this carrier, you need to wake up and then log into your load board, pull up your Google map, start searching over the phone, helping your carrier. Nobody talks about this. Your carrier yelling, you're doing your best and your carrier yelling at you. Your driver yells at you. I want to go home. Like, book me a load. Do this. Like, you book a load for $4. And then he complains and says, well, the same lane somebody paid to one of my friends, dispatcher got exact same load for $5. I'm like, what? Always people blaming you. Always people complaining. Accidents. Things happen. Driver dead. Deadly accident. That happened. This happened. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? So if you're not that type of person, dispatching is not for you. I'm sorry. That's the truth. If somebody tells you that, well, dispatching is awesome, you can make thousands of dollars, whatnot, that's true. Yes, some of my students, I have 2 students from Moldova that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, not in profit, but generating revenue. I have a couple of students in Uzbekistan, they're dispatching, hundreds of trucks. I have two of my students actually in Kazakhstan, and I have one student in Kyrgyzstan. They're making great. At least what they're telling me. I have in post-Soviet Union countries, there are a couple of others, they're really making good money. But yes, I have a lot of students in the US making about like 5K, 10K, they're fine, But guess what? Are they happy? They love the industry, but this moving pieces, man, they're a lot of stress. Finding a carrier is one thing, as I said. Keeping them in the game, another thing, right? But then getting paid by them, it's even harder. Like, you have to be like great at what you do to have a really good business. So in order to do that, you have to create content. You have to show that you are great. Don't tell. There are a lot of people telling. You need to show. When you show people what you can do and you can share everything with them, they will love you. They will work with you.